Hello there and welcome to my channel. I'm Marie. Today I'm going to teach you how to crochet the back loop only single crochet, also known as the single crochet rib stitch. So this stitch pattern gives a very beautiful ridged pattern which is very stretchy. It is often used in clothing for a ribbed neckline or ribbed cuffs in a sweater, or in accessories like at the edge of a hat and things like that. So very practical and very useful stitch pattern to know. So let's get started. For this project I'm using this nice and soft merino wool. It is Aran weight yarn. I always recommend to use either Aran weight or DK weight yarn when learning how to crochet. It's much easier to see your stitches and it's easier to hold the yarn and all of that. For this yarn, I'm using a 5.5mm hook, and I will also need a darning needle to weave in the ends and some scissors to cut the yarn. To start any project that is worked in rows, I will first have to make a slipknot and a foundation chain. So to make a slipknot, I'm going to form a loop like so, with my working yarn here in the front. Then I will bring the working yarn to the back, and I will take my hook and pick up the yarn through the loop, and then I will pull these two yarn tails and tighten the knot. And I'm now ready to make the foundation chain. So to make a chain, I'm going to wrap my yarn around the hook, like so, then grab the little knot here, and pull my yarn through the loop on the hook. And again, yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through. And for this little swatch here, I'm just going to make 14 chains. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. I now have 14 chains. Now if my project is supposed to have 14 chains at the base, I'm going to need one more chain, which is called the turning chain. And this one will not count as a stitch and will not be worked into in the next rows. So I will just do that. I will chain one more as a turning chain. So for the first row here, I'm just going to make a single crochet into every stitch. But as always, I'm going to skip the first turning chain here. So I will insert my hook into the second chain here from the hook. Then pull up a loop. Then yarn over and pull through 2. Insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And I'm just going to repeat all the way across the row. Just make a single crochet in every stitch across. I'm now at the end of my first row. I only have one chain left here. So I will just insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And to start the next row, I will first have to make a turning chain. So yarn over and pull through, and then turn your work. And as always, the turning chain here does not count as a stitch, and I will not work into that one. So to start the second row, I'm going to work a single crochet into the back loop of the first stitch here. So as you can see, there's a front loop and a back loop here of the stitch. So I will only go into this back loop here, then pull up a loop, then yarn over and pull through 2. And again, I will pick up the back loop only of the next stitch, then pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. And I will just repeat that into every stitch across the row. So again, I will insert into the back loop only of the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Insert into the back loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And I will just repeat across the row and show you in slow motion. I am now at the end of my second row. I only have 1 stitch left. Remember that the chain here that we skipped in the beginning do not count as a stitch. So I will just insert my hook into the back loop of the very last stitch. Pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. And again, to start the next row, I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work. And again, I will continue to only work into the back loops of the stitches. So again, insert into the back loop here of the first stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And again, insert into the back loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And I will just go ahead and repeat that into every back loop of every stitch across the row. And again here at the end of the row, I will just work into the back loop here. It's hidden a little bit here, but there it is. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And again, chain 1 and turn for the next row. So from here, I'm just going to repeat the previous rows a few more times and get back to you when I'm ready to fasten off and weave in the yarn tails. I now have only 1 stitch left. So again, insert into the back loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And as you can see, I now have this lovely, rich and stretchy pattern here. And to some of you, it might look like I only have 7 rows here, because if you're only counting the ridges, you will only count 7. But actually, I have 13 rows here, because for every ridge, I have 2 rows. one that is turning inwards and one that is turning outwards, like this one. So if I just stretch my work a little bit, I can actually see all of my rows and count them as well. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So to fasten off my work, I'm just going to cut my yarn, then yarn over and pull my yarn tail all the way through and tighten my knot. And then I will weave in the yarn tails on the back side. So I will flip my work over, then attach my needle, and just weave in the yarn tail carefully through the stitches, making sure that it doesn't come out and show on the front side. Then pull my yarn through, and then weave it back once again, but not exactly through the same path, then it would just come out again. So I'll just skip this one strand of yarn here and just weave it back a few stitches. And then I can cut my yarn. And that is it. We are all done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and found it useful. If you did, make sure to give this video a like, comment down below if you have any questions, and feel free to subscribe to my channel for a lot more beginner-friendly tutorials. I hope to see you next time. Have a great day. Bye bye.